Yeah, the Netflix thing. While Kristian figures out his technical issues there and adjusts the studio to fit what's going on. Yeah, we had it over the weekend. I thought it was okay. There were some teleprompter glitches. There were some presentations that maybe didn't 100% get there. And to be honest with you, it was a good weekend for me, getting some nice reaction views for the stuff I did. But the Stranger Things, we only got like 30, maybe 15, 20 seconds of new footage right at the end of that trailer. And Squid Game season 3, that was a good trailer. It gave us a little bit more of what we're going to get, but it wasn't that exciting of a trailer. The Frankenstein trailer, I think, is the winner of the weekend. I don't think a lot of people were clamoring for another version of Frankenstein, but Guillermo del Toro, and he doesn't always knock it out of the park. I think those who are being honest about Guillermo del Toro as a director, he doesn't always knock it out of the park. Crimson Peak, other things that he's done hasn't quite gotten there, but you can sense and you can tell when he's on point. And that trailer felt like he's 100% on point. Him and Oscar Isaac, even though Oscar's doing one of those affected older accents, I think it really works. And I love the Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. You can speak on the One Piece. I've never seen One Piece, so they dropped that trailer for that second season as well.
That show's just so huge. You can tell like how big the overall fan base is for that.
Yeah.
But you know what I would like to address with Tudum, even though I understand why it does the sound that it makes.
Yeah,
I just hate the name so much. But it was what I do like about what they did with that. I think Comic-Con's Star Wars Celebration, all of that should take note. Meaning, we're past the day of, well, I bought my ticket to Comic-Con and D23 for exclusive to get into the thing, and then not tell it to anybody else, and you're not going to show it to anyone else. We're past that. It's not, because there's too many things that get leaked and other things. Hall H and Disney and whoever's in there should televise their Hall H panels. They should televise, and they should do big events. And if you're going to spend the money to go to Comic-Con and these other things, put the money in. Not everybody has Netflix money. I get it, but put the money into it and put on a show. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I thought was kind of, as the kids say, cringeworthy of some of the jokes and other things too. But they put on a show. They had musical acts. They did things, and the presentation was smart, and they benefited by streaming it on their platform. So when Disney's at Hall H, put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Back in the old days, remember Star Wars Celebration did that a few years ago. They streamed it. None of the footage got streamed, but the panels got streamed. I remember watching years ago with the crew over there in the valley that had that. I can't remember the name of the site, but like they invited a bunch of us to go and watch it and did a live watch along of the panels. That was a blast. And so, the panel should absolutely be up there for people to watch in real time. Maybe you don't release the footage or the trailer because that's exclusive for the people that are there, and you'll release it after the panel is done. But still, it would be fun for people to enjoy that, because I think you're right. The interactive world is the way to go. As we see more and more people not wanting to go out into the theater to see movies, not wanting to go into public places, a lot of people are just doing stuff from home, and so they'd rather enjoy that. Why should they be left out? It's this kind of exclusivity nonsense that's from decades past, and it should
past. Right? They think, and if the audience bought a ticket for it, that's what they're there for. They're not, though. It's the same way that, like, when you go to a concert or anything else too, you're going to see it. You want to see it live.
Yeah, of course.
And there are some people who are going like, well, wait a minute, why am I buying a ticket if it's available to anyone else? Tough shit. It's like
you're not going to get the same experience as you are.
Not at all.
That's what you're paying for.
You're going there to see again, but to take it a page out of what Netflix did, have a musical act, like Lady Gaga's up there.
Gaga was great.
Go star-studded and put it on, and it's a show. You got to see someone perform. You got to see exclusive footage. You got different things, and this is what I always said about Comic-Con. Put on a show. I don't want to just see some host who's going, a lot of what was so extraordinary about this one, and what was it like to work with this person. And it's like, no one cares. It's like, you want to see the cast come out. You want to see, like, even when what they did do in like the Rich Eisen thing, which coming out with, it was great because it's a Happy Gilmore. It's relevant to the movie itself. You're putting a sports presentation to it, and it's relevant to what's going on within the thing. That is what they did good. Like I said, there's a couple things I'm going, okay, just fast forward. I get it. I don't care. But the people there got the experience. Netflix got the benefit because people are watching their stream and checking out everything else, and you're adding to it. So if you're spending the money, if you're these studios, televise it and put it on your streaming service. You're trying to find all this content to put out together, and yet you're going, oh, well, it's exclusive stuff, and nobody film anything. Who cares?
Right.
At this point.
Okay, it is great to have Turtle Beach back. And I've been talking about Turtle Beach. You guys have been raving about Turtle Beach, and why wouldn't you? The Stealth 700 headset that I got, it was so great. It just was stood out to me was the sound, man. Like just playing that Indiana Jones game, as I've told you guys, you could just hear every little thing. I love it. And it's just, it locks me in. It's better than the other previous headsets I've had. I don't like being aware that there's other things going on around me. I like being locked into it and hearing every bit of the sound design and just comfortability, to be honest with you. I could wear them for hours. I did. It's almost like they're so comfortable in my head. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I have these things on. I love how precise the audio is. I just feel like I'm so locked into the game when I'm doing it. And it's like that feeling I get when I'm in the theater. I'm just in the world because of the sound. I love sound. You guys know that. The other thing that's great about it is the 80-hour battery. That's crazy. I mean, you don't even feel like you ever have to even charge it. The worst is you're playing something and then it just craps out on you. And you're like, oh, no. The Stealth 700, it has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. What it means is that you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and your PC with just a click of the button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, and it's all done with the Stealth 700. And this is the easy part. You head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off at turtlebeach.com with the promo code Kristian. But you're going to purchase it, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, our show. You support our show, you tell them that we sent you, and get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
And they still film stuff, and they still put it out, and they still leak everything for sure. And you're right, Chris. I mean, he on the heels of what the 37 chairs for the Marvel presentation, you put the Tudum thing in the same basket, and you're like, look, there is a massive audience for people who will actually sit down for hours and watch a broadcast of your stuff to promote your stuff. So why not open the door to making that more accessible to people? It doesn't make sense anymore to live in that old business model. You know?
No, it doesn't work. But as far as the others, the quality itself, I like the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie. I'm interested in. It's so funny when I saw that trailer, though. I'm like, we live in such a different time, right? Because you're watching that that trailer, and it's like the way movies are made now, where Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are making movies for Netflix. They're making movies for streaming. That's 10, 15 years ago. That's a movie theater movie. You know,
100%.
Yeah, and now it's like pick and choose, but it's like, hey, Netflix is going to give us the money. That's something people are going to watch on Netflix and talk about and discuss. And it made a lot of sense. I think it's interesting, and you got a better shot of it doing people caring about it and the kind of numbers it can get. You put it on Netflix. Did you like that trailer? Or just thought it was just fun?
I thought it was fine trailer. The Cookie Monster thing was a little weird, but everything else I thought was good with them. And to connect what you just said to the Guillermo del Toro thing as well, someone on one of my reaction videos to that trailer said, hey, I hate that he's not going to let this be in the theaters, or they're not going to put this in the theaters. Like, you can't have one without the other, right? You got to be honest, right? Yeah, you got to be honest. Ben Affleck can't sell movies. Matt Damon can't sell movies like they did in the past. That's why you saw Brad Pitt, Clooney, like they all can't sell them like they did in the past, right? So where can you go with filmmakers where you're going to have the budgets that you had in the past to create the visions that you want to be a part of? Netflix, Apple, these are the streaming places that you see this happening. So this idea that, I'm not going to get a chance to see this in theater, or why are they working with these streaming services? This is why. Del Toro had a vision for his Frankenstein. He was never going to get the budget from any other studio that he got to make it on Netflix. Right. So this is the exchange. You know, you want to
good luck with them. Look what he did with Pinocchio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got good luck with them. So it makes a lot of sense that he would do it. But now a lot of these creators, some of them are trying to push back against the Netflix model. A lot of them know the Netflix model, and they know okay, look, I'm not going to get a theatrical thing. I'm going to go and they're going to give me this money to do it. This is where it's going to live. some people go into that deal, and some people have the deal go, well, I was under the understanding that it was going to get a brief theatrical, and if that's in the negotiations, then that's on Netflix, right? They got to figure that out. Yeah, like the Greta Gerwig thing, like, and then they came up with the IMAX deal, which I think was a fair deal. But you look at what Netflix does, and I think last night that Tudum thing really showed the shift in what is going on with entertainment and movies and all that stuff, and the way, like, the kind of money that they have to put on that stuff. And that's why I brought up the thing with Comic-Con. It's embarrassing when you take like what Star Wars Celebration does, Disney, in the way the same mundane freaking, panels and things, and Comic-Con, every studio, not just Disney, that does the same mundane stuff. And then you look at what they did, because like, we have the money to do this. We're going to put on a show. We're going to really make it feel like everything that we are doing is important. Right. Like even their dating shows, they gave it like, because how popular it is. And so One Piece was exciting. Stranger Things, I mean, because we even said were people interested in Stranger Things too? Was it too late? I don't think it's too late. I think it's going to get people excited. I like that they're doing 3 chunks. Boom, boom, boom. I like that so much better, because then you at least have time to catch up on however many it is.
Yeah. I don't understand people getting upset about that. Look, a lot of people on social media are upset about the three thing drops. Like, listen, they're not your dad and mom who have to give you what you want when you ask for it. Like they're going to drop it, and they're going to let it breathe a little bit, as you just said, Kristian, so people can enjoy it and talk about it and analyze it and get excited. That's the number one thing. And get excited for the next drop of episodes. And one is just one's Christmas and the other one is New Year's. So you're not even waiting like 2 weeks, you're waiting less than a week to get it. So it's just this instant gratification crap that drives me nuts from some people. Like, they're going to drop it this way because they want to build up anticipation. It's the last season. So let them have the finale the way they want.
It's smart. And they're not doing it within like 6-month period.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This isn't Last of Us.
No, it's like the first one. It's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's. It's like boom, boom, boom. And it's so funny to show you how old my wife and I are getting. We're sitting there with my 13-year-old watching, because and Wednesday was the other thing, right? So we're watching
Wednesday, 6 minutes. Yeah,
we're watching the Wednesday part of it, and I go, Tudum. It's such a stupid name. Why don't you name it that? My wife's like, I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. My wife goes, my daughter looks at me. She goes, it's the name. It's the noise that it makes when you turn it on. And we're like, oh yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so
Circle of Life.
Yeah, Circle of Life. But in general, I thought it was a really good really good event, because, like I said, and I think the girl, and this is again showing you how old I'm getting. Do you know where I recognize the host from? Not her new show.
No.
From Descendants, from watching it with my kids.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly.
She was one of the main women in Descendants. And I thought she did a good job hosting.
I think she did a good job. I mean, you mentioned Hall H. Almost all those Hall H people are handed talking points and handed questions. Yeah. They don't usually come up with them. But to navigate an entire thing like this, I think speaks volumes to her abilities. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe down the road she's hosting a Golden Globes or an Oscars.
She shouldn't host Golden Globes. She's a singer and an actress, too. She doesn't need to host those things.
She was down the road. You never know.
Maybe. I think she was doing it more so to promote the thing that she's got, Sure. But like, you look at like they went all, even the Knives Out. They did the Knives Out thing. They
that was cool.
Out for that, and they spared no expense, and they did what they needed to do, and it made a lot of sense. I think it was a success. I think that it did well. It also shows why I need a home studio, because I'm not driving my studio to go like react and watch these things. I'm just not doing it. So it was it was really, I think, again, a big win for them overall.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna see, and Happy Gilmore too. I really liked the trailer for the first one.
Yeah.
The second one's making me a little nervous.
Really?
Just a little. It could either be great, or it could be, it's like, I love seeing MJF there. Where did he come from?
I know, right? That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
On top of the car.
Hilarious. And it almost doing like that. What was that? Was it Step Brothers? Not Step Brothers.
Four Christmases?
No. Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
But it's he's lost it all, and now he's had to come back, and we'll see. My fingers are crossed. I'm excited to see.
I'm not excited about it. I mean, his daughters didn't look like they were up to snuff there. So I get it. You want to cast.
You want his daughters, and his wife's in it too. You know, that's what he does now. He puts everybody in. But
a lot of people speculate that Julie's dead. Do you buy that?
It's
Julie
possible.
Bowen's character has died, and that's why he's been depressed.
And she's talking from the happy place.
Yeah, she's talking from the happy place.
It's possible because she's there promoting it,
right?
And it might be a big enough role, but yeah, where is she in the live action scenes? So
nowhere there along the sidelines with everyone else. Right.
No. And if it was divorced or anything along those lines, they probably would have incorporated that in the actual thing. So
yeah.
God, anyway,
I love that story. Yeah.
What did everyone think about all this and more?